Hey guys, welcome back to, not back to because it's the first video. I don't know how to pronounce it. C, I don't know if it's Ciconia or Ciconia or Kikonia. I don't know. But it's a new When They Cry game. Well, it's not new. It's been out for a little bit now. I just haven't got around to getting to do it myself. It came out at a pretty bad time, and it was like $30 or $40. So I got this during like the summer sale. I just never got around to making videos on it yet. But it's in the same universe as Human Echo and Higurashi and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really I forgot. It's been a while since I've done a visual novel. To fly freely at the speed of the sound like a fighter jet. To fearlessly withstand all attacks like a tank. To wield the weapon in a fortress or warship. What if all these superpowers were compressed into the left arm of a single soldier? I'm not talking about some sort of comic book hero. What you're looking at is the next generation of soldiers who would defend world peace. I'm assuming there's still going to be some kind of horror element to this in some way, probably. The aerial augmented infantry, otherwise known as the Gauntlet Knights. This elegant gauntlet worn on the left arm, reminiscent of the medieval knights, contains all the weapons and technology humanity has given birth thus far. It controls all their atoms in their bodies and surrounding air, enabling them to free themselves from the laws of the surface world and surpass them. The video showed a lone boy soldier wearing a gauntlet on his left arm, standing on a massive airstrip. A whistle blew and his body floated upwards 10 centimeters. He literally was floating. Cutting-edge ADM's techniques made it possible to create the control force fields, releasing his body from gravity. The whistle blew again, and his floating body danced like a bird flitting about the space of the airstrip at will. Gauntlets give soldiers the same abilities as an aircraft. The maximum speed is in no way inferior to the best fighter jets from around the world. And that powerful G's would be normal. Was it G's or GS? I don't know. I'm going to say G's, okay. They put a hard burden on them. They've been eased thanks to the anti-G ADMs in their bodies. This allows them to fly in ways pilots of existing aircrafts could only ever dream of. And when taken to an extreme, even the ricochet flying is possible. What's that do? Video changes scenes at Gauntlet Knights practicing in the skies above the training grounds was recorded from behind by a friendly plane in pursuit. One moment the Gauntlet Knight was flying an elegant, familiar way of playing, and the next its trajectory became complicated and bizarre, as if it was being bounced at an odd angle like the diffused reflection of light. Because it looked like they were rebounding fiercely up the walls of a pipe as they flew, this was known as ricochet flying. As the word ricochet suggests, the Gauntlet Knights kept fleeing at fierce, sharp angles without losing any of their speed. Normally, flying like this would put enormous G's on their brain and all over their body, likely killing them instantly. However, ADM's tech has freed them from all the ground's restrictions. Even amazing mid-air movements like these are not possible, and the text doesn't even fit in the speech bubble. Okay. Oh, okay, not fitting again. I'm assuming in the original Japanese it probably fits fine, but whatever. Now I want you to pay close attention to this footage. This is the fire control system trying to target Gauntlet Knight. As it tried to target the ricochet flying gauntlet, a computer-controlled sight indicator with prediction lines kept appearing and disappearing. The Knight's movements, which ignored the common sense of physics, confused the fire control system, and it was completely unable to lock onto its target. All fire control systems created so far were completely useless against Gauntlet Knights. Though they could be displayed this level of mid-air mobility, Gauntlet Knights are not planes. They truly are infantry, aerial augmented infantry. Their ability to land and take off is completely unrestricted, so they can carry out tactical operations anywhere a human is able to stand. By this point, Gauntlet Knights already possess all the strengths of fighter jets, VTOL aircrafts, and helicopters. So then what about their weaponry? You're probably thinking that regardless of their mobility, they'll have completely useless if they don't have the firepower to take down their targets. But that's when it comes to Gauntlet Knights, this utterly needless concern. The Dimension Container System brought about by cutting-edge 4DP technology made it possible for a person to take massive arsenals of weapons and ammunitions with them. The scene changed. A boy soldier who was apparently a gun knight stood still in what looked like a vehicle service station. Set about him in a radio pattern were all sorts of weapons and ammunition, like a weapon bargain sale. There were rows and rows of missiles designed for fighter jets, just as many precision smart bombs, and several heavy torpedoes designed for major warships. This was clearly more weaponry than your average fighter jet. Furthermore, there were howitzers and their ammunition laid out alongside them, as well as multi-barrel machine guns with ammo belts filled several times over. And that wasn't all. There were several I forgot how to pronounce that word. Drones, several types of signal flares, ammunition, resupply containers, and various construction kits with several kits with everything down to the slightest detail packed in. This massive set of military ordnance can all be carried by a single gauntlet knight, and if they specialize in carrying capacity, they can fit the same amount of weaponry as an attack carrier. Witness the armament of a battleship and the mobility of a fighter jet. This is a gauntlet knight, but that's not all. They also possess an ultimate technique that cannot be reproduced with any current existing weaponry. Watch and learn. The scene changed and how it appeared to be an outdoor shooting range. The same gauntlet knight boy soldier stepped forward. Several adult soldiers stood side by side some distance away, all pointing guns at him. Immediately after the whistle blew, the sound of a gunfire and smoke rushed towards the boy as though a bunch of firecrackers had been set off. That was it. Nothing happened. It was a bit of a letdown. Do you understand what just happened? Let's slow it down a bit. The same scene was relayed in super slow motion. Bullets were launched from the soldiers' guns. However, they all bounced back along with a white glow from the spot directly in front of the gauntlet knight. The next whistle blew. A soldier had been lying prone and holding a light machine gun sent a signal, then laid down in a powerful barrage. It was so fierce that you could see that was happening clearly now, even without the slow motion. This is the invincible defense gauntlet. Knights proudly wield the rejection shield. The scene changed again. The same soldier boy was staying in a different part of the shooting range, but this time the camera was far away from him. After a countdown, the boy was swallowed up by a massive explosion like something out of a Hollywood film, but then when all the flames disappeared, he was still standing there with a blank expression as though nothing had happened. An invincible defense and easy control over the skies, his ability to use endless weapons at will, and every little bit of that is all compressed to a single gauntlet knight. In this new era, the numbers representing the military might of nations will surely shrink drastically. All we'll need to know is how many talented gauntlet knights each nation has. The screen changed several more times, showing various scenes of gauntlet knights training. Sometimes they led fighter jet formations, and sometimes they led aircraft carrier fleets. Then they landed jauntily on the ground, surrounded by a tank division. Calm boys and girls yearning to become defenders of peace. Wouldn't you like to join those who stand at the head of all the militaries of peace, blazing the way into a new era? The aerial augmented infantry awaits you. The moment you put a gauntlet on your left arm, you will become a gauntlet knight. Very nicely made. Do you think you could get a bit shorter, though? My back's starting to hurt. The old officer rose from his seat in the back projection, rubbing his back. A young, female officer who seemed to be a private secretary helped him up. No, sir, we cannot make it any shorter in light of the regulations. Is that so? Very well. By the way, kids like explosions, right? Bang, boom, and all that. We've got more flashy scenes. Also, the hook in the first 15 seconds is important to understand. I studied film back in the day, so I know all about it. When the old officer started talking, probably the other officers all took out notepads at once and made a show of writing it down diligently. Ooh, wait. Okanogi, huh? That sounds very familiar. Look at this moronic video they made, as if you just putting a robot toy in your arm could turn anyone to a superhuman being. In the first place, this aerial augmented infantry things are so just theoretical. If it was just a portable system for individual flight wielded by specialist troops, that'd be realistic enough. But then you throw one bit of ridiculous technology after another and call them Gauntlet Knights. Or are they superheroes from some American comic book? True, there weren't any lies in their catalog specs. They could fly like fighter jets, carry weaponry like battleships, and set invincible barriers like tanks. In that propaganda video, the brat looked like he was flying around happily. Still, the shock reduction provided by anti-G Abrams is invincible. He did a bit too much ricochet flying, and after the shoot, the capillaries in his eyeballs ruptured, eventually rendering him unconscious. If only they'd film it in one take, he'd probably still be able to see. Even the dimension container, which worked like a four-dimensional pocket, kept having issues. Just so many breaths have turned into mincemeat when they tried to open it up, and then immediately got hit by an explosion before they could fire up their rejection shields. Even that rejection shield only had become stable very recently. Even if it doesn't work perfectly, then a brat's flying at 800 kilometers an hour, and all it takes is a lazily flying pigeon to smash their heads to bits. Well, we'll soon have plenty of brats to work with. Put up plushie ads at least look good, and you'll find all the stupid kids you need. After all, anyone would want to do it. If I'd been in my teens and someone told me I could become the face of an entire military flying unaided through the sky, I'd be screwed too. Still, a bird in the hand's worth two in stunt in the bush. In the end, it'll just be an e-sport where you can't really fly outside the simulator. By the way, in the aerial augmented infantry boy in this video really is young and bold. I'd like to get a chance to meet him. You think you could bring him to dinner tonight? Well, that sounds excellent, Captain Nokanogi. Major General, so I'm afraid to say he's already perished in the line of duty. What? Is that true? What a shame. He looked magnificent. So I was hoping to give his career a boost. Too bad, too bad. Truth be told, that explosion scene in the video just now was also the scene of his death, Major General. The filming schedule was a bit too rushed, so he must have been overworked. He screwed up with his shield during the flashy scene at the very end. Thanks to that, we were forced to edit it to make it look like he survived a massive blast. God damn it, it's not like we got the budget for this kind of thing. Sir, it's about time we went to your car. Oh, okay, well then, keep up the good work, everyone. Also, everyone's eyes will be on the aerial augmented infantry division at the Battle Center Festival, so make sure you give it your all. By the way, I believe a contestant from here in Japan will be representing AOU, correct? What, wait, is this actually... Wait, was that 3D or was that actual Japan video? I don't know. Yes, sir. Second Lieutenant Matake Miao of the 17th Aerial Augmented Infantry Squad Worker, or am I supposed to say 0017? I don't know. Damn it, the Husky brats were supposed to be representing the rising sun at the International Battle Center Festival. This world's really screwed. Okay, that actually might just be 3D. I don't know. I don't know. Is that 3D or just a low poly of actual? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take a few minute break here, guys. That was long for the intro. Okay, that was a good break. Apparently, second, the sequel, or I don't know if it's really a sequel or more of a part 2 to this, but I know if you guys can read by the title, it says Phase 1, so obviously there's going to be more parts, but yeah, apparently the part 2 was delayed this year, so, I can't remember this. I think this came out in October of 2019, it might have. Yeah, I think it's around there. So yeah, it did take me a while to start this, but that's fine. Yeah. This work was created in Japan in the year 2019. We cannot guarantee the position of this work. The country you currently live in conforms to your country's current laws. Furthermore, if position of this work results in okay, I don't know why they need to make that warning. Initially, just reading this work on the internet, that creators reading you must agree to pay 10 million Japanese if you break this rule. I wonder how much it actually is. $96,000. I hate when people text. Okay, for this first phase, you have permission to record and distribute videos up until the end of the 7th chapter. I'll let you know when you get there, Poyo. Okay, it's unfortunate, though, because, I did all of Higurashi and all of Yumaneko. Whatever, okay. But in a way, it's kind of, I don't want to say I'm glad in a way, but, because I like making the videos of these. But, I always felt so rushed and stuff when making the videos on them for the first time. So, to finish the rest of my own leisure would be kind of nice for once. I usually don't get to do that with visual novels a lot because that used to be something I used to make videos on a lot. Anyways, the top of the Super Tower Tokyo set 666 meters above the ground. Surrounding it, the scenery of the night stretched as far as the horizon. The hustle and bustle of the surface didn't reach this place, nor did its troubles and complications. The sky is the only place where we can be truly free. And there at the top of the antenna mast at the peak of the tower I stood. My fear of heights is now little more than a fond memory. Of course, it's not really such a great thing in your everyday life if you jump out a third-story window and seriously hurt yourself because you can't be bothered to go down the staircase. Well, that's just a joke among people like us, but a pretty common one. Just to check, I glanced at my left arm. I was clad in a bulky contraption that resembled some piece of European armor. That device, which extended from my shoulder to my fingertips, was unsurprisingly called a gauntlet. Knowing it was there meant I could relax and forget about the laws of physics. Whew. I let out a deep breath to gather my wits. Then I slowly extended my right foot into the black void of the nighttime sea. Gravity pulled on my entire body and it slowly fell forward. I drove into the nighttime sea. The gentle change caused by gravity was soon accelerating me towards the ground at an incredible pace. I was in free fall in the positions of heaven and earth swapped. The natural free fall without any force field manipulation feels the best. My body felt faster and faster. I could never get enough of this sense of acceleration. Boom. I was probably getting near the ground, but I felt as though I could sink forever through that black nighttime sea. Part of me wanted to wax poetic, but it was simply vertigo. The sum of my mental data, not including sight, left me fully aware of the speed and trajectory of my fall, as well as the surrounding terrain and the time to impact. The instant before I smashed into the asphalt of the Shoto Expressway, I kicked off in empty air, and the ballistic curve of my descent snapped her into a right angle. In the vacant space I launched from, something blossomed delicately bathed in a white phosphorescence. They floated in the air incredibly beautiful, almost as though an angel's feathers had been scattered about. Okay. Gravity no longer bound me. Though my body was that of flesh and blood, it now soared like a swallow. I'll glide so low I'll be a hair's breadth away from scraping the asphalt off the Shoto Express. A train bridge came into sight before me. Across it raced one of the new steam engine locomotives that just debuted this year. The steam engine is synonymous with the economic revolution and kicked off a wave of technological advancement. It was also the first step towards mechanized technology. I doubt any of the great technological geniuses of the past would have ever expected to make a comeback after the nuclear age. Of course, though it resembles an old steam engine, its operating principle is completely different. After coal and oil and the atom, humanity got its hands on a new ultimate fuel. It was called spiritium. When spiritium engines convert energy, they expel large clouds of mist that resemble water vapor, and then the haze of countless spiritium engines' exhaust has become the mark of a massive city. I happily burst through the vapor, billowing out of that steam locomotive. A forest of skyscrapers awaited me on the other side. All over were buildings with Victorian and Art Nouveau themed designs. So, man, this has a lot of words I don't know how to say. It was out of a 19th century. The brick facades of spires were beautiful. The golden glitter of the brass steam pipes tangled over every surface was also gorgeous under the floodlights. There were also Japanese-style electric billboards interspersed throughout it. Not a slightly twisted yet strangely appealing contrast was the essence of the Tokyo metropolis at night. The cityscape style and fashion sense were all remnants of the 19th century. However, beyond the artistic veneer celebrating the rebirth of an economic golden age, latest state-of-the-art inventions that could fairly be called ultimate in human tech. And at the cutting edge of that... Wait, what? And at the cutting edge of that cutting edge, okay. Yeah, it finally became possible for a flesh and blood human to fly like this. Of course, the power was only available to a few people so far. I was one of those lucky enough to enjoy this privilege. Every era and every society is fundamentally crap when you get right down to it, but there's one thing I can say. Being granted the ability to fly freely like this makes me glad I was born in this era. Being careful not to fly too high, I raced through the forest of skyscrapers and built... I need to take a nap after this. My bad. Okay, I'm skyscrapers and billboards. I felt way more flying than staring down from above. The newspaper keeps saying we should cut down the number of electric billboards to avoid disrupting the city scenery, but I kind of like this look. After all, Tokyo looked like this is the day I was born. Why should I give a damn about the ancient Tokyo those adults long for so much? This is our Tokyo. As I continued to pick up speed, I slipped past billboards that stretched out over the road and seemingly competed with each other. Greater Tokyo Securities, Miyu Spirit Yaoyo Life Insurance, Cure Alls from Manchito Mental displaced by Fujix, I don't know. Cat Karaoke Sushi Cosplay, now get 101 as our wheel spins free. I say foodstuffs, eat wisely, mighty soldiers of a rich nation. Snacks recommended by the National Defense Boys Club. Koku Cola, the Koku Cola bottlers are the official sponsors of the International Battle Standard Festival of Peace. And Glen Stunner saw a gleaming swarm of cars blanketing the highway that wound through the downtown district. The exhilarating feeling of gliding right over them was by far the most primal part of the primal joy of flying. You know, you forget this feeling if you don't fly every now and then. It's only natural that flying through the air is exhilarating. At that moment, a little frog character hopped into the corner of my mental display. It was Silco's beloved mascot, Kira Poyo. Then it made a mental announcement with that funny default voice. A friend noticed the ride, Poyo. Immediately, a friend started talking to me, doing like Kizuna. Who the heck's doing that? I'm busy focusing my mind, remembering my primal self. Well, I guess there's only one person it could be. Hey, Dust. And taking a nice, relaxed pleasure flight in a place like this? Leave me alone. I'll bet you haven't warmed up to me yet, huh? Well, super genius Jaden has come to play with you. She's just such a pest. It was my annoying partner. He never leaves me alone, even when I'm trying to focus on mindless solitude. Yeah, warming up's important for someone like you, at least. As if you didn't expect me to show up right now. I'm flying for my own sake. It's not like I was waiting for you. You're such a cute son. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Someone who's reading this comment that because I'm not making a fool of myself. I always see the word in manga and whatnot. People are commenting on it, but I'm not even gonna. I always want to say thunder because but I know there ain't no way the hell that's it. What a pain in the ass. Okay, sure, I'm in. I don't want people blaming me if you screw up later on. Activating dimension container. Piano, no, Poyo. Tsundere. No, that doesn't sound right. I googled how to pronounce that. Tsundere. That sounds so wrong, isn't it? Tsundere. I don't know. I don't like the way that's pronounced and the way it's spelled. Okay, anyway. So we're using competition rules. Activating Reaper's Eye. Friendly unit Jaden located. Registering as hostile. Poyo. Hostile. Nah, we can leave it like this. You like this place, right? Hostile unit Jaden has activated this Reaper Eye. We've been located, Poyo. Don't act like you're doing me a favor by saying that. We don't need a killjoy like rules. Let's just go all out on each other. While we talk each other, we both started circling the Miyu Spiritum building, hiding behind it. It's blocked our line of fire, but in a gauntlet fight, cover like something from an infantry building meant nothing. Time to get started. Let's play. When Mio thrust out his right arm, a burst of luminous angel feathers danced around it, and one after another, guided missiles winked into existence. Looked like an ancient magician, so many familiars. The missiles launched one another, circling around the building and aiming for Jaden on the opposite side. Then, not a beat later, Mio summoned into existence a massive 7-barrel Gatling gun, big enough that it covered his body. After all, just as Mio had launched guided missiles around the building, Jaden has launched missiles back at him. Okay, this is kind of epic, though. You haven't seen this before when they cry. Actual animations like this and whatnot. Neat. The missiles that appeared one after another from beyond the skyscraper were met by Mio's Gatling gun. They were rapidly caught by a hailstorm of bullets, exploding one after another, bursting the skyscraper's windows to glittering dust. The Gatling gun, which floated in the sky above Mio's right hand, was exactly like those loaded into the warships that defend against anti-ship missiles. These are supposed to be way over 9 tons, however, it's continued to float there over Mio's arm as if it's weighed nothing at all. I see the way you're guiding your missiles is as twisted as ever, Mio. Jaden intercepted Mio's guided missiles, which had come flying around at him in the same way. If they had come flying via a traditional maneuver, aiming directly for their target, it would have been easy to intercept them. However, these two missiles control the flight paths of the missiles that they launched. For that reason, no computer could completely intercept a volley of their high maneuverability missiles as they approached along such complicated trajectories. The missiles were guided by humans, so it took a human to intercept them. Okay. Your missiles are pretty twisted, too. Duking it out with you will make anyone twisted. They circled at high speed, shooting down the missiles that chased them one by one. Naturally, both were simultaneously guiding missiles, intercepting them, and also controlling the speed and direction of their own flight. It would be impossible for a normal person to do all this at the same time. That's why gauntlet knights were admired by children, people are everywhere, something like that. In a battle between superhumans like this, how you fool your opponent is vital. Even games that appear to be completely intellectual, like chess and shogi, are eventually decided with the physical contest depending on the glucose levels in your blood. They were being chased by swarms of missiles flying in a complex trajectory, constantly intercepting them, while still firing missiles themselves, looking for a chance to corner their opponent. Doing so is brutally exhausting. In an instant, they gave your opponent an opening, and they take advantage of it, and they end the whole thing. That was how a standard one-on-one fight between gauntlet knights went. So you think you can win if it's an endurance dogfight, huh? Don't forget, Meow. I know you're a super genius, right? Yep, I'm super genius Jaden. The next instant, Jaden scattered glowing feathers through the air as he changed his movement pattern. He turned at a right angle, headed straight towards the floor of the building. He burst through the massive glass windows and flew inside. The entire 50th floor of the Miu Spirited building is a single observation deck restaurant. He raced through the empty restaurant, sending tables flying. While playing a fierce game attack with the guided missiles, Jaden has also been investigating. He has accessed the floor plans for the Miu Spirited building that have been the center of their dogfight. The building screening the two of them from each other instantly became a shortcut. You little, so I'm a super genius, hear me roar! The entire building was pierced as he performed an all-out body slam backed by a force field. Despite that, Mio just barely managed to dodge. He kicked off the empty air and sent glowing feathers flying, changing his direction at a right angle and plunging straight down. Of course, Jaden hadn't been naive enough to hope that his surprise attack would land a clean hit. However, I'm dodging Mio has been forced to make too sudden of a vector change, and the anti-GMs in his body had used up almost all the energy in this instant. Energy depleted, battery recharged, Poyo. I really gotta pee. Alright, I'm back. I ended up taking like a 40-minute break, or almost an hour actually, I think. There we go. Until you're fully recharged, you can't do anything at all, Poyo. Without any energy left, Mio is lost all control and can do nothing but let himself free fall straight down. Wait. Is Mio a guy? Huh. Okay. His energy would recharge soon by an extreme close combat situation like this. That pause would utterly be fatal. Jaden was looking down on him from above in control. Jaden was looking down on him from above in complete control. They were all on gazes crossed. Jaden swung his right arm down, scattering glowing feathers above as he summoned a 50 caliber heavy machine gun. Enemy unit Jaden has achieved target lock and energy recharge in progress. Evasive maneuver is highly recommended, Poyo. But too bad, Poyo, or Poyo, whatever. Your soul recharges, you can't do anything, Poyo. But even if you're in free fall, you can still pray, Poyo. God damn it, this new version of Kira Poyo sure is an asshole. Gotcha, meow. Ignition. Huh? Even when it's supplemented by Reaper's Eye system, which makes it possible to observe the entirety of the surrounding area, people tend to focus on a single point when they get excited, and then all other directions became blind spots for them. So by the time he saw that it was already behind him, exactly their time, Meow made his emergency dodge downwards. He had summoned a missile directly above himself. He had just summoned it in midair, nothing more. He was merely a floating object, not gutted or moving in any way, so it entered free fall and was now right behind Jaden. However, it wasn't as though he hadn't given his missile any orders. It just had one, and that was to explode after a few seconds delay. A massive explosion engulfed Jaden from behind, and an instant later, pure white angel feathers were scattered all over the area in front of the blast. It was a sign that the rejection shield had blocked the explosion. A gauntlet knight wouldn't succumb to a little attack like that. They could fly about at will, arm themselves at will, and also shield themselves at will. It was an invincible shield usable only by gauntlet knights who could perform a Drasic conversion on spirit unaided. A rejection shield, they could extend it instantly, block any sort of attack. However, depending on the strength of the attack and whether the defender was taken by surprise, doing so could expend a massive amount of energy. You got me. As if it let you win with a little trick like that, it had been a completely unexpected trap, and it had resulted in a blast back at extreme close range. Jaden had used up almost all of its energy in an instant. Triggering at such a close range would have taken you out with a shrapnel too, but you got me to put up a shield and block it. You really are crazy awesome and totally screwed up. Meow. Spinning glowing feathers that got right with the last of its energy, Jaden rapidly accelerated towards Meow, and Meow, who's in free fall, waited for Jaden as he came to settle this. Jaden! Meow! Surrounded by dancing fragments of glass glowing wings shouting off the blast, the two men with race fists collided. Gotcha. As the pair descended in freefall, two punches containing all their strength crossed. It was a cross counter. So would they take each other out? No. Okay. No, the victor was clear. If you're short, that means your arms are short too, right, Meow? Jaden's right straight definitely reached Meow's cheek, but Meow's right straight didn't make it. The difference reach was obvious. Damn it! In the end, the showdown between the Gauntlet Knight Aces was decided not wit or physical strength or glucose levels, but by height alone. And their energy was recharged, and they regained control, rescuing them from the shackles of free fall. I hate this right arm. Get me a saw. Coming off. And I'll replace it with the rocket fist. Sweet, let me know when you do. I'll even give you a special permission to punch me. That's a promise, alright? Don't you go forgetting it. Still, I expect no less from you, Meow. I thought I'd launch a perfect sneak attack, but if it had been perfect, he wouldn't have been able to set a trap so quickly. I bet he figured it out. Wait, I bet he figured I'd come at him through a shortcut and waited for me. I moved first, so I was able to make it through the chaos somehow, but if it had been a heartbeat slower and Meow had finished his preparations, it probably would have been taken out neatly. Not bad, partner. I may have won by a nose, but the battle's far from... I'll let you win, obviously. I mean, you always get pissed when you don't win in the end. Naturally, I lost on purpose for the sake of your mental health. Huh? And I was trying to be a gracious winner, too. No matter how you look at it, my trap worked perfectly, and I won. In a real battle, it wouldn't have ended with a punch, and my recharge would have been at least 1 second sooner. And then, if it were a real battle, would have blown you away with the force field and slammed you against the wall, winning. Ah, damn it, we almost closed that out. That scene so nicely, and now you ruined it. Though he said this, Jaden left looking somewhat amused. Meow wasn't really the sore loser he sounded like. They had both just been scuffling and playing, and now it looks like he's smiling too. However, his expression transformed utterly a second later. But you know what? That was way too reckless, putting your body in the line to send a sneak attack like that. In a real battle, we would have taken each other out, or you might have been hit with a building and blown yourself up. Or you're supposed to be a super genius and don't find a way that'll end up the mutual kill to both you and the super normal enemy. I know that. We were playing, so I just had a bit of fun, okay? And that's not all. The paths of those first suppression missiles are too simple. You keep getting stuck in a pattern without twisting it up a bit, and you wasted time when intercepting missiles. Your trajectory when dodging was too weak. And just look at that trajectory data. 3 seconds after you started intercepting missiles. What a pointless maneuver. Get rid of the last one this part, and you would have had enough energy to finish me off in a final clash. And look at the trajectory data from 23 seconds later. 24.2 seconds later, make gravity and inertia your friends instead of wasting your anti-G8Ms. Hey, are you listening to me, Super Genius Jaden? Great, here comes the lecture mode Meow. Meow sent them bits of battle action data one after another, marked with red annotations. At first I thought this guy was annoying, acting like he was my instructor or something. However, when he lectures people, he's definitely not letting his emotions get the better of him. The things he points out are always accurate, and then most importantly, he really does watch people. Normally in a fight, you only think about how you're going to take down your opponent, about how super strong you'll be when you win, alright? Meow's always watching his opponents when he fights, always thinking. It might sound weird, but when I put it this way, but he sounds seriously thinking about his. He's always seriously thinking about his. Damn it, I got hiccups. However, when you. No, I got a drink right here. I'm just gonna take a quick drink. That'll help a little bit. However, the way you disseminated parallel thinking by searching for a way to strike back while playing tag with missiles wasn't bad. You used evasive maneuvers to gain yourself a moment of time to stockpile your mental resources, which isn't employed effectively. Judging by your level of strength, you minimize the amount of unused mental resources to fight throughout the fight. Well, I feel like I can leave it in my brain unused in the fight against you, Meow. See? He really does look closely at his opponent's feelings. He may never makes it when he gets clumsy or screws up, but he also never misses it when people work hard. I tried my own way to make use of the precious advice he'd given in our previous match, and it looks like he's really noticed. You tried in your own way to confront the problems you had the last time we fought, and that's what makes you a super genius, Jaden. Nice work. Damn it, why the hell am I blushing at a compliment from the guy? This is why I never had any desire to quit being your buddy. A friend has arrived, blah 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 blah. Then my Ciconia Carapollo notified me that a bunch of friends had arrived at once. Sheesh, can't you let the two of us flirt alone in peace? Seriously, then you should be trying to preserve your sugar levels. You start all out battle. We didn't do much, just a bit of a warm up, right? That's right, just a bit of a light stretching. Your blood sugar levels don't agree. Friendly unit Lilja has registered as hostile. Friendly unit Koshka has registered as hostile. Who could have guessed we'd find a couple of kitties playing in a place like this? Meow! Well, it looks like this place is worth smashing. Hey, Lilja, Koshka, stop that. This is no time for a battle. I won't forgive you for having fun in a place like this while we were getting bored to tears by that Sierra moaning meow, 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 meow. I was so bored. Time to blow up some steam to make up for it. Let's see who can take down the others first. Meow, there's no way I'd ever lose to a hick like a Koshka. Meow. Don't make me laugh. I'll take you on and all the others and crush you. Go ahead and do it if you can. I'll beat up Meow and Jaden and plant you upside down in the Siberian permafrost. Meow, meow. Enemy units Lilja and Koshka have activated Reaper's Eyes. You've been targeted, Poyo. Enemy unit Lilja is summoning an anti-air mine dispenser, Poyo. Oops, I skipped that. Oops. Hey, just stop already. The instructor's gonna get mad at me. Ooh, it's of Chloe getting chewed up by the instructor now at 99%, Poyo. Carol. Well, I can't take this anymore. Good grief. Meow, Jaden, are you up? Such a warm-up was enough for you? Well, that was a terrible That was terrible sentence reading. No, it was just like it was time for a real warm up, right? Meow. Yeah, this time let's check our ability to work as a team. If you take a gamble like that, I really will punch you, okay? Yeah, sure, I'll just wait for you to get a rocket fist and actually reach my face. That's decided. Chloe should warm up a little too. Friendly unit gun-hilled or gun-hiled? I'm gonna say gun-hiled. Gun-hilled. I don't know, gun-hilled, let's just say that. It's registered as hostile. What? No! Friendly unit gun-hilled has initiated AM surveillance and is now providing data to friendly units, Polyo. Enemy unit Chloe has begun accessing Super Tower Tokyo's anti-air cannon Sakura 1 and Asagawa 1, Polyo. So you may try to hide it, but Chloe's totally on board with this. Just let me take all of you out. Instructor, none of this is my fault. I'll happily take that first strike, Meow. I'm gonna eat everything up and not gonna leave a scrap for Koshka. If you hers a Koshka, I'm gonna change the saying to Koshka. I think Koshka's more alright than Koshka. Okay. If you're my target lineup, I'll skewer you. Do it if you can, Meow. Ooh, here they come. Let's go, Meow. Yeah, I'm so fired up. I couldn't care less about that battle starting festival of peace. It won't be fun in either way, Polyo. Okay, ready? Fight, Polyo. Oof. Okay, well, I was gonna actually end the video after that that little area was done anyways. Got a pretty badass intro. Really hope this it's gonna be good. Not sure yet. So I mean, it's kind of like more like a sci-fi kind of deal so far. Higurashi and Yumineko had that horror and mystery type, going for it. I wonder if this is gonna be anything like that. Because if you look at Higurashi, Rika, has to keep going through different alternate realities. Basically, when she dies, she goes to a different world and restarts, and tries to, figure out what's going on so she can live past her death date. And in Human Echo, it's almost similar. You're trying to figure out who the killer is, so everyone can have it, survive the storm on the island. And that horror, that mystery and drama, whatnot. But I wonder if this is gonna have anything like that or not. I mean, why else would it be in the When They Cry series instead of being its own standalone thing? I don't know. Anyways, guys, maybe we'll figure that out eventually, hopefully. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end this video here, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.